Every time you spray your garden for pests, you're making the next outbreak worse. Not a little worse. Consistently worse. And if you've been fighting the same pest problems year after year with the same bottles, this is why. It doesn't cost anything and it doesn't come in a bottle. It's just how a garden works when you stop fighting it. I did what most people do for a long time. Something showed up on my tomatoes, I grabbed a spray, and it worked. So I kept doing it. It didn't occur to me to ask what else I was killing in the process. The part that took me longest to accept is that the pests aren't the problem. They're a symptom. And spraying a symptom is a good way to make sure it never goes away. You walk out one morning, find aphids on your pepper stems, reach for the bottle. 3 days later, most of them are gone. You handled it. 2 weeks later, they're back, worse than before. So you spray again. And again the next season. And the season after that. Most people figure they just have a bad pest problem. What they actually have is a garden that has been losing its ability to defend itself year by year, spray by spray. The bottle is the reason the problem keeps coming back. The label just never says what else goes down with the pests. I kept thinking the spray was saving the garden. Took me a while to realize it was creating the cycle I was trying to stop. Ladybugs, lacewings, ground beetles, parasitic wasps. You've got an entire crew out there working for free. They were there before you ever bought a bottle. A ladybug alone eats up to 50 aphids a day. Parasitic wasps lay their eggs inside hornworms and kill them from the inside before you ever see the damage. The spray does not know the difference between the pest on your pepper and the predator hunting it. It kills both. The pest population recovers in days. The predator population takes weeks, sometimes a full season to come back. Every time you spray, you widen that gap a little more. You have been paying to fire your own pest control crew, then wondering why the pests keep winning. The soil is where this starts. Most people skip it because it does not feel like pest control, it feels like gardening. But a plant growing in dead, compacted soil is like a person running on 4 hours of sleep. Technically functioning, no reserves. The moment something goes wrong, it goes wrong fast. A plant in good living soil, the kind with actual biology in it, builds real defenses. Thicker cell walls, natural compounds that make feeding harder for the pest and recovery faster for the plant. I did not fully believe this until I paid attention to which plants in my own garden took the most damage every year. It was always the ones in the spots where the soil was thinnest. You do not need anything special to fix it. A 2-inch layer of compost worked into the top few inches of your beds every spring before planting. Bagged compost from any garden center works fine. If you have a compost bin at home, use that, you know what went into it. If you have access to aged manure from a farm or a feed store, that is the upgrade, but it is not what you need to start. Just do it every spring. After 2 or 3 seasons, your plants will look different. Thicker stems, darker green, and they bounce back from minor pest feeding in a way that plants in thin soil simply cannot. The predators come back when they have something to eat between pest seasons. A strip 2 feet wide along one edge of your garden, sweet alyssum at the front, yarrow and dill behind it, fennel at the back if you have the space. Something blooming from early spring through fall. Within a few weeks of the first blooms, that strip pulls in hoverflies, parasitic wasps, lacewings, and ladybugs. Once those populations settle in, they patrol your entire garden. You are not spraying for pests, the garden is handling them. Companion planting handles the other side. Pests find their targets by smell. Same way you can find a barbecue 3 blocks away just by following the smoke. The aphid locks onto the chemical signal your tomato puts out and follows it straight in. One basil plant near every 3 or 4 tomatoes, 8 to 10 inches from the base, and that signal gets drowned out. The aphid cannot find the tomato because the basil is louder. For cabbage and broccoli, dill or cilantro between the rows does the same job, and when it flowers, it pulls in the parasitic wasps that hunt the exact caterpillars eating your leaves. French marigolds along the borders release a compound into the soil that suppresses root nematodes. Each of these plants is doing 2 things at once, all season, without you touching anything. 15 minutes every morning before the day gets going. Most people hear that and think it sounds easy. Then they skip it. Then they wonder why the spray was the only thing that ever seemed to work. You are not out there admiring your plants. You are turning leaves, checking stems, looking at the undersides of squash foliage. A tomato hornworm on Monday dropped in soapy water does not become 20 hornworms by Friday. 2 squash bug eggs scraped off today are not 100 eggs next week. I have done this long enough that it stopped feeling like a chore somewhere in the second week. Now it is just the quiet part of the morning, and it keeps me close enough to the garden that problems do not have time to become disasters. Have you ever stopped the spray mid-season and watched what happened? Drop your experience in the comments. There is still one moment when I reach for something. A young transplant, first 2 or 3 weeks in the ground, is the most vulnerable it will ever be. Cutworms work at night, cutting through stems at soil level. You can lose in one night a plant that took 6 weeks to grow. Take an old toilet paper roll, push it an inch into the soil around the base of each transplant, 2 inches above ground. The cardboard stops cutworms cold. It breaks down in 4 to 6 weeks, right when the plant has hardened enough to stop being a target. No spray, no residue, 3 seconds per plant. For the times when pressure is heavier than that, 4 cloves of garlic and 2 hot peppers steeped overnight in a quart of warm water, strained with a teaspoon of dish soap. Spray the undersides of leaves in the early morning. It does not kill on contact. It makes your plants unpleasant enough that the pests move on. That is all you need when the rest of this is in place. Every time you reached for that bottle, you were paying to make next season's pest problem bigger. That is what the label does not say. Put the system in place, give it 2 seasons, and you will spend less time fighting and more time harvesting. If this is the kind of thinking you want more of, subscribing is the easiest way to stay in the loop. The channel site has a resource on building a backyard food system that produces year after year. Link is in the description. Honestly, if I had $20 to spend this week, I would not buy another bottle. I would buy compost. I wish somebody had told me that 20 years ago. Would have saved me a lot of money and a lot of frustration.